Russia is regarded as one of the world's most advanced countries when it comes to anything and everything related to spying, and that includes secretive, high-tech military communications. For Russian leader Vladimir Putin, a former intelligence officer, this is a particular point of pride. Yet Russia's reputation has taken a major blow with the often bumbling way the military has handled communications in Ukraine. Here's a look at how the Ukrainians have effectively countered the Russians on multiple fronts. Ukraine feels there are huge public relations benefits in releasing intercepted material that's either embarrassing to Russia or points to Russian wrongdoing, possibly even atrocities. Ukraine's military intelligence recently put out audio on social media, saying that as two Russian military members were speaking, one called for Ukrainian prisoners of war to be killed. Keep the most senior among them and let the rest go forever. Let them go forever, damn it, so that no one will ever see them again, including relatives, a voice says on the tape. But collectively, the ongoing stream of audio released by the Ukrainian government and military points to Ukraine's sustained ability to intercept Russian military communications. While the public releases are limited, military analysts say the Ukrainians are certainly capturing additional calls that provide important battlefield intelligence, which is not being shared publicly. The Ukrainians are probably intercepting these calls in several ways. But at the most basic level, some Russian troops have apparently been far too casual in their communications. The Russians brought their own cell phones into Ukraine. When the Ukrainians figured this out, they cut off Russian phone numbers from the Ukrainian network, so the Russian phones stopped working. Russian troops then began seizing cell phones from Ukrainian civilians, according to Ukraine's State Service of Special Communications and Information Protection. We call on Ukrainians whose mobile phones were taken away by representatives of enemy troops to inform the operator as soon as possible, the Ukrainian agency said in a statement last month. Ukrainian civilians have complied, and this let the Ukrainian government know which phones were stolen by the Russians, and effectively became listening devices for the Ukrainians. Dmitry Alperovich, a cyber expert who heads the Silverado Policy Accelerator, says this is just one way the Ukrainians are tapping into Russian communications. The overall result, he said, has been a huge Ukrainian advantage in intelligence. The intercepted phone calls are just invaluable in getting a sense into what the Russians are thinking, the state of their morale, said Alperovich. There was an intercepted phone call where the Russian officer was saying how half of his troops have frostbite on their feet, how they don't have any hot stoves for food, they are sleeping in trenches. If this has been happening since the beginning of the war, why can't the Russians figure out how to prevent it? This has been a real mystery, especially since the Russians have a long history of having strong military intelligence and communications. The Russians have a modern, secure radio system for the military. Russian intelligence has been extremely active in Ukraine for years, but Russia has so far squandered these advantages, according to military analysts. Inexplicably, the analysts say Russia has used basic, off-the-shelf, unencrypted radio communications in many cases that made it relatively easy for the Ukrainians and others to listen in. Also, it's not clear why Russia hasn't simply bombed Ukrainian communications networks to rubble. Russia expected a quick and easy takeover of Ukraine, and there's been speculation that Moscow wanted to keep the phone system, the railways, the electric power grid, and other infrastructure in place so Russian forces could use it. And no doubt Russia is also tapping into Ukrainian communications and would like to continue these operations. But whatever the reasons, Ukrainians' phones and internet systems are functioning in most places, in contrast to what was predicted before the war. The Ukrainians are getting significant intelligence help from the United States and other NATO countries, according to US officials. Most of this assistance remains secret, but some is easily visible on social media. If you look at the flight radar right now, almost constantly, you see US Air Force planes that are flying near the Ukrainian border, collecting intelligence, said Alperovich. The US planes are not entering Ukrainian airspace, but are nearby over the skies of Poland, Romania, and elsewhere in the region. I'm sure that they are collecting radio communications and other forms of intelligence that they then pass on to the Ukrainians that is invaluable in their prosecution of this fight, said Alperovich.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.